Yeah, welcome back to lecture 28, multiple integrals part 1. Today we will cover double integration. In double integration, we will see what is double integration and how to evaluate the double integration by simple method, and sometime we are not in we are don't know how to evaluate the double integration, then change of order help a lot to evaluation of the integral. So we will see what is the change of order of integration, and we will also see the double integration in polar coordinates. So let's start what is double integral. So let fxy be a continuous function in a simply connected comma closed. Simply connected means function is defined everywhere in the given domain. Closed and bounded, till now you can understand that. And what are the main definition of simply connected closed domains? We will see these definition in complex analysis module. And bounded region R, let the region is R in two dimension space R, and it is a subset of R2, or it can be R2 entire. Bounded by a simple closed curve C, means if we take a 2D system xy plane, and if we take a bounded region in this domain, suppose this is our a closed curve C. This is a closed curve C. What is closed curve? I will tell you in the complex analysis module. That is closed means initial and final point are meeting and they are not they can intersect actually here. This is a closed curve. When initial and final point of a curve are same, then the curve is called closed curve. Simple means it is not intersecting itself. It is not intersecting itself. This is a closed but not simple, because if it is start, we can go this way and we can reach at this point again, but this is a closed curve but not simple curve. So I'm taking it is a closed curve, means initial and final point are same and it is not intersecting itself. So we will see these definition in detail in complex analysis module. So this is the region R. This region is R, and this region R is bounded by here closed curve C. This is our region. This is our region. This is our region. So how to calculate integration over this region in two dimension? This is called double integration over region R. So let's see the representation. It is representing by integration I is equal to double integration over region R, means we have two limits here, limit of x and limit of y both. In a single integration we are along x axis or we are along y axis, but here we are in the plane actually, in this region actually. Now fxy dx dy. So this is the representation of double integration over region R, and R region is bounded by a closed curve C. A closed curve C. This region can mean any quadrant, first, second, third, fourth, or first, second, third, fourth, or in all the four quadrants. It can be look like also in all the quadrants, but it must be bounded here. It must be bounded here. So how to evaluate the double integration? Let's see. We have two notations for that. This first is if you have double integration in the form of fxy dy dx. Its meaning is firstly I am going to integrate with respect to y, then we will integrate with respect to x. It is your dy and this is your dx. Means first integrate with respect to y, then integrate with respect to x. Similarly, if you have integration in the form fxy dx dy, then we write like this: fxy dx dy means first integrate with respect to x, then integrate with respect to y. But I will tell you some tricks also how to identify the limit of x and y. We will discuss it after some time. So this is the way to represent the double integration and preferences to evaluate the double integration. We have few cases here. Let's see some cases. Case 1. Let our reason is given as below. Let the reason R. These are very important cases. Let the reason R be expressed in the form. The reason R is the collection of all ordered pairs xy. It is in R2 definitely, subset of R2, where y is bounded by two curves phi x and psi x. Y is given in the variable form and x is constant a to b, has constant limits a to b. See, in the double integration, one limit will be constant. At least one limit will be constant. Means both limit can be constant also. But here I am taking when x is constant and y is in the form of variable. What is the meaning here? Suppose this is our reason. This is our reason. And the lower limit of this reason is x equal to a and the final limit is x equal to b. And this is a closed curve C. In this reason, what is the limit of y? Y is from here. This is phi x up to y is up to psi x. Means when y is in the form of x, it means you are drawing a strip in the region parallel to y-axis. This is called a strip. When the limit of y is in the form of variable x, it means a strip is parallel to y-axis. And limit of x is constant, it means the strip is parallel to y-axis. So in this case, how to evaluate the double integration? Variable limit always solve first. So x is from a to b. And what is the limit of y? Y is from curve psi x to psi x. fxy dy. We will integrate with respect to y firstly. Then we will integrate with respect to x. So this is the representation of double integration here. And this is the way to evaluate this integral. Suppose you have another possibility when y is in the constant form and x is in the form of variable. Let the reason R be expressed in the form collection of all ordered pairs and x is bounded between gy to hy and y has constant value c to d. Now if you see the reason here, suppose this is our reason here. This is our reason. lower limit of y is c. This is a constant limit and this is a y equal to b. Now your x is in the form of variable, y variable. So we will get the strip parallel to x-axis. And this is anti-clockwise direction. This curve is x equal to gy and this curve is x equal to hy. Now how to evaluate here? We will evaluate variable limit always first, then x is from gy to hy, fxy dx. We will evaluate this integral first, then we will integrate with respect to y, and y limit is from c to t. In double integration, always remember at least one limit is constant. Both can be constant. Let's see. We have already seen in case 1 and case 2 when x is constant and y is constant. Means one limit is constant. Let's see another case. Case 3. When both the limits are constant. If the limits of integration are constants such that region R I am taking here collection of all ordered pair A is less than equal to X less than equal to B and Y is greater than equal to C less than equal to D. Then if we draw the region, always remember in this case region is always rectangular, and important point say sides are parallel to axis. Sides are parallel to axis, x-axis and y-axis both. So suppose x is from A to B here, x equal to A is this, x equal to B is this, y equal to C is this, and y equal to D is this. So you will get a rectangular region here. And its sides are parallel to axis. This is parallel to x-axis, this is parallel to y-axis. In this case, how to represent the integration? X is from A to B and y is from C to D. And you can integrate with respect to y first, with respect to y, then with respect to x. Or you can integrate with respect to x first, then with respect to y. What is the meaning? Here order of integration is meaningless. But in the previous two cases, order of integration is very important. If you have variable limits, then that must be integrated first. But in the case of constant limit, order of integration is not important. In this case, then the order of integration is not important. So these are three cases: when x is constant, y is variable; when y is constant, x is variable; when both are constant. Both cannot be in the variable form. You can think by yourself only why. Let's see some properties of double integration. First, if linear property fxy and gxy are two integrable functions for constant c1 and c2, we have double integration c c1 fxy plus minus c2 gxy dx dy over region R is equal to c1 we can take outside fxy dx dy over region R plus minus c2 double integration over region R gxy dx dy. And second property is, if fxy is a positive function for every ordered pair in region R, then it's a double integration over region R will be always positive. Will be always positive. Let's see application of double integration. There are many other properties. We have one equality, inequality property. Let's see that also. Double integration over region R, this is magnitude, fxy dx dy is less than equal to double integration mod of fxy dx dy. But these two, the first and second is very important. Now, let's see application of double integration, which we will use in further lectures. First is very important. I told you this is our representation of double integration over region R, fxy dx dy, and I'm taking the region R here. This is our R region, and it is bounded by a closed curve C. This is our region. If fxy equal to 1, then integration will become dx dy. This integration dx dy over region R represent the area of region R. This represent the area of region R. This is very important property and very important application. Okay, let's see the another result. If z equal to fxy, if z equal to fxy is a surface, it can be a surface of sphere also, paraboloid also, then the double integration z dx dy or fxy dx dy gives the volume of region beneath the surface z equal to fxy and above the xy plane. What is the meaning of this? Let's see with example. With an example, we can better understand the application. Second, let's see an example. Suppose we have a surface z equal to a square minus x square minus y square, and region R I am taking a sphere, inside a sphere. Then double integration over region R, z dx dy are under root a square minus x square minus y square dx dy gives the volume of the hemisphere x square plus y square plus z square equal to a square for z greater than equal to 0 above that side. So I will discuss this example in detail in second part of multiple integral when we will study the volume. This is a very important remark, but we will better understand this application in part 2. Let's see some example related to the evaluation of double integration. First example I am taking here. Evaluate the double integration 0 to 1, 0 to x, e to the power y by x, dy dx. Can anyone guess who is the limit of x and who are the limit of y. Always remember, this limit is in the form of given in the variable x, so it will be the limit of y always. So this is the limit of y. Y limit will be in the form of x if x variable is present. If y variable is present in the limit, that means that will be the limit of x. I have discussed in case 1 and case 2, and it means the first limit of x only. It means order of integration stage, firstly we have to integrate with respect to y because we have variable limit in the y. So e to the power y by x dy dx, and we have to integrate with respect to y here. So what will be the integration of e to the power y by x? E to the power y by x, and x will be treated as constant here. And now if you integrate y by x, and we have to divide by the coefficient of y, that is 1 by x. If you divide 1 by x, it will give you x only, and the limit is 0 to x dx. So we have to put x in the place of upper limit, it is e to the power 1 minus 0 in the place of lower limit in the place of y. So it will be e to the power 0, it will be 1. So what we have did, we have did integration with respect to y, x will be treated as constant, then the coefficient of y is 1 by x. If we divide by 1 by x, x will become in the numerator. Now e minus 1 we can take outside. Integration of x will be x square by 2, 0 to 1. So it will become e minus 1 by 2. So this will be the integration. Let's see one more example. Example 2. We have a double integration x square dx dy, and reason r is given in the form of different curves, where r is the reason in the first quadrant, in the first quadrant, in the first quadrant, bounded by lines y equal to x, y equal to 0, x equal to 8, and curve xy equal to 16. So this is the reason r is given to you. Remember, bounded region must be bounded by all these 4 curves. What are these 4 curves? You can see here. This is your x-axis, this is your y-axis. We are interested in only first quadrant, so I am making first quadrant large here. Now if you see, what is your line y equal to x? The line y equal to x is this one. What is the line y equal to 0? This is the line y equal to 0. Now, what is the line x equal to 8? If you see the line x equal to 8, it will look like this line, x equal to 8. What about the curve xy equal to 16? We know that xy equal to c square curve. It is in first and third quadrant. Okay. So this is your xy equal to 16. Now, important point is lower limit of x is 0 here because we are in the first quadrant, and upper limit of x is 8 here. Now, what is the bounded region? This one or this one? We have to see carefully. If we see the first region, it has only 3 curves: y equal to x, xy equal to 16, and y equal to x. There is no involvement of y equal to 0. But if we see this curve, this is y equal to x line, xy equal to 16, x equal to 8, and y equal to 0. It means this is the bounded. But in the bounded region, we have an intersection point also. We have a intersection point also. So let's see what is the coordinate of these intersection points. Suppose this is your A, this is your B, this is your C, and this is your D. So the coefficient, the coordinate of D is 8, 0. If you put y equal to x here, this coordinate of B will be 8, 8. What will be the coordinate of C? C is a intersection point of xy equal to 16 and x equal to 8. If you put x equal to 8, you will get y equal to 2. A is the intersection point of xy equal to 16 and y equal to x. If you put y equal to x, you will get 4, 4. So now you have all the coordinates here. Let's see. There are two regions here. This is your first part, this is your second part. If you are taking, you can see that bounded region is not parallel to axis. Sides are not parallel to axis. It means limit will be in the variable. This is the important point. If the bounded region, if all sides of bounded region are parallel to axis, it means limits of x and y will be constant. But if the sides of bounded region are not parallel to the axis, it means limit will be in the variable form. So now it's on you which limit you want to take constant. So generally I prefer x as a constant because you can see that here the limits of x are very easy and this limit is actually 4, 0. Now if you see in the first case, limit of x is from 0 to 4. In the second part, limit of x is from 4 to 8. Now you have the limit of x. Only problem is how to write the limit of y here now. If you are interested in the limit of y and y is variable, so always draw a strip parallel to y-axis in the bounded region. Now see the bottom and top of the strip. What is the bottom of the strip? It is on y equal to 0. So the limit of y equal to 0. And what is the top of the strip in region x? That is line y equal to x here. And inside function is x square. It will be integrated with respect to y first. X square will be treated as constant. In the second case, you have to again put a strip parallel to y-axis because you are taking y as a variable limit. Foot of the strip on the x-axis, it means y equal to 0. But the top is on xy equal to 16. So the value of y will be 16 by x square dy. So these are the breaking of limits here. Now I'm going to evaluate these limits. So if you see carefully, this can be written as 0 to 4. Y of limit was 0 to x dy. I am taking x square outside because x will be treated as constant when you are integrating with respect to y. Then x is from 4 to 8. This was x from 0 to 4. And limit of y is from 0 to 16 by x dy and x square dx. Now if you integrate, you can see that this is your dy and limit d of y, limit integration of y dy will be y 0 to x square dx plus 4 to 8. It is your y 0 to 16 by x square dx. Now if you simplify it, you will get this is x cube dx plus 4 to 8 16x dx. One x will be cancelled out. If you simplify it, you will get 4, 4, 8. So this is the value of the integration. So this is the value of the integration. Sometimes this integration is not very easy. Then we have another technique that is called change of order of integration. Change of order of integration. What is the meaning of change of order of integration? Let's see from the previous example. From this example, I am going to draw it again. What was the reason? You can see y equal to x line, xy equal to 16, x equal to 8, and this is x equal to 0, and this is the point 4, 4. If you see carefully, the upper limit of y is 4 here and the lower limit of y is 0. Now I am taking y as a constant. This is your first region, this is your second region. Region is not going to be changed. So the integration, if you take y as a constant, then you have y 0 to 4 in first part. Y is 0 here and y is 4 here. And we will take limit of x later. Plus, in the second part also y is from 0 to 4. Because the highest limit of y is 4 only. 0 to 4 dy. Now see the limit of x. If you see the limit of x, now you have to draw the strip parallel to x-axis. And strip always take from left to right, or from down to up. Always strip increase this side, increase this side. So we will take tail is this, head is this. Tail is this point of strip, head is this point of strip. Where is the tail of the strip? We will take the value of x from here because y limit is always taken. And now x will be in the form of variable. So tail is x equal to y. And head is this line. What is this line? You can see this is x equal to 4 line. So this is your 4 x square dx. X square is always is given in the question. Actually, x square is given in the question. Now, if you draw the strip here, if you draw the strip here, what will be the limit of x now? Now you have another important point here. This is a intersection point. Let's see, draw it again. 0 to 4 is not actually, this is coordinate was 8 to 2. It means y is from 0 to 2 plus y is from 2 to 4. Why I'm writing here? You have 3 strips now because head is changing. Head is changing. I'm cleaning it and drawing again. In the second part, if you see carefully, if you see, this is an again intersection point 8, 2. Here, uniformly strip has common tail and common head up to this line. But if you draw a strip here, head is changing. So we have to draw another strip here. So up to 0 to 2, strip is same and the lower limit of x was 4. And you can see that this is a rectangular region. That's why both the limit here will be constant. And the upper limit of x is 8 x square dx. And in the third case, limit of x is here 0 and limit of x is from this curve you will get, that is 16 by y x square dx. Now this is the technique called change of order, and if you will get again same answer for it. But we will use the previous method only because that was easy. Sometimes change of order is difficult, but sometimes change of order gives you very easy solution. So let's see some questions which are difficult by normal integration, but by change of order you can get the solution. Suppose you have a problem. Double integration 0 to 1 e to the power x to e 1 over log y dy dx. If you see carefully, can anyone just identify the limit of y and x? This is in the form of x, variable x. It means this is a limit of y here, and it must be limit of x. 1 over log y dy dx. We have to integrate with respect to y firstly, but we cannot integrate 1 over log y. So we cannot integrate right now. But if we change the strip or change the order of integration, we can solve it. Let's draw the reason. What is the limit of x? X is from 0 to 1. We will draw both the lines x equal to 0 to 1. What is y? Y is from e to the power x. This is your e to the power x graph. And at x equal to 1, it will give you e. You will get e. So this is the value e, 0 comma e. And this coordinate is 0 comma 1. At x equal to 0, you will get 1. E to the power x will give you 1. What is the region bounded here? You can see y strip. Now the limit of y is in the form of variable. You have doubt. Some people think this is the bounded region. Some people think this is the bounded region. No. Where is the foot of the strip? It is an exponential function. And where is the head of the strip? At x y equal to e. So this is your bounded region, and strip are parallel to y axis. This is the given question right now, and x is from 0 to 1. Tail of the strip is exponential function e to the power x, and head is e only. Now we will change the order of integration. In the change of the order of integration, nothing I am going to change. Just going to change the parallel strip. This is our region 0 comma e. This is your 0 comma 1. Now we will draw the strip parallel to x-axis. When you draw the parallel to the x-axis, your x limit will be in the form of variable, and y will be constant. So what is the constant y limit? Y is starting from 1 to e only, and x will be from, if you see, this is the tail of the strip, tail it on y-axis, so x is going to be 0. And what about x equal to, from this curve, this is your y equal to e to the power x, so x will be log y. So the upper limit of strip will be log y. Now we will integrate with respect to dx first, 1 over log y dy. Now if we simplify it, you will get 1 to e. Integrate dx, you will get at x only 0 to log y into 1 over log y dy. And you can see that log y is cancelled out, and the integration is e minus 1. You can see that if you apply log y will cancel, dy, integration of dy will be y, and upper limit is e, lower limit is 1. So e minus 1 is the answer. So the change of order of integration is very important. You can change the strip only, and you can get the answer easy manner. Let's see one more example. Suppose you have double integration e to the power x square dx dy. Now it's on you how to draw your strip. I am giving you just limits. Y is from 0 to 1, and x is from 2y to 2. 2y to 2. It means how it is given. Y is from 0 to 1, y constant limit, and variable limit is 2y to 2. E to the power x square, this is the limit of y here, dx dy. Can we integrate e to the power x square with respect to x? No, we cannot integrate in the finite limit. If it is 0 to infinity, then we can think 0 to infinity. That's also not possible, because this integration is not convergent. So very difficult to make it to gamma function. If e to the power minus x square, then we can think when a limit is infinite. So it is a very another part, another type of integration. Here it is not integrable in the given region, because in the given region strip is drawn parallel to axis, because x variable is variable, x limit is in the form of variable. Now draw x equal to or y equal to 2x. This is x equal to 2y line. X equal to 2 is this one. If you put x equal to 2 here, you will get y equal to 1. So this coordinate is 2 comma 1. 2 comma 1. So this coordinate will be 0 comma 1, and this is 0 comma 0. This is your 2 comma 0. 2 comma 0. Can anyone tell me what is the bounded region? This or this one? So for this, you just see the strip. Where is the tail of the strip? 2y. And where is the head of the strip? 2. So this is the head and this is the tail. So this is the tail and this is the head of the strip. So this is the bounded region. Now what we will do? We will only change the strip. This is our curve. Now you draw the strip parallel to y-axis here, and here 2y equal to x, and this is x equal to, okay, and this is 0, comma 0, and this is 0, comma 1. If we draw the strip parallel to y-axis, it means y will be in the form of variable limit and x will be the constant. What is the constant limit of x here? X is from 0 to 2. What is the y? See the tail. Y equal to 0 here. And what is the head? 2y equal to x. It means y equal to x by 2. dy we will integrate with respect to y firstly. E to the power x square dx we can take outside. Now it will become 0 to 2. If you integrate dy, it will give you y x by 2 e to the power x square dx. Now if you suppose x square equal to v by some integration by part, its differentiation is given here. You can simplify it. You will get the answer of this integration is 1 by 4 e to the power 4 minus 1. So this is the application of change of order of the integration. When sometime integration is very difficult, by changing the strip or by changing the order of the integration, we can easily find the integration. Let's see integration in polar coordinates. You know that in the Cartesian system, the position of any point x comma y is given as this. This OL is called x and this PL is called y. And the distance between OP, that is called under root x square plus y square. This is Cartesian system. But in the polar system, this is called initial line. This is called pole. And the position of any point is given in the form of r comma theta. R is the distance and theta is anti-clockwise angle with the initial line. And if we merge both the axes r comma theta and x comma y at the same point, then you can see that this is the right angle. This length is x, this is your r, this angle is theta, this is your y, and if you apply the cos theta in this given triangle, you will get x equal to r, x upon r, cos theta equal to x upon r, so x equal to r cos theta and y equal to r sin theta. Here you can see that theta is given as tan inverse y by x and r is given by under root x square plus y square. So this is the relation between Cartesian system and polar system. But now if we draw see the more relation in the Cartesian and polar, let's see more relation. You have x equal to r cos theta and y equal to r sin theta. What is the Jacobian of xy with respect to r theta? With respect to r theta. So you can see my Jacobian lecture. I told you this is equal to del x over del r, del x over del theta, del y over del r, del y over del theta, and it is equal to r. Then we have an important result. Dx dy is given as mod j dr d theta. J is a Jacobian here. So dx dy is equal to r dr d theta. It means Cartesian elements dx dy equal to r dr d theta in the polar elements. So this is the relation between the Cartesian and polar system. Remember this. Let's see some example based on the polar system. So before that, let's see the representation of double integration in the polar coordinates. We have a initial line. This is our initial line. This is our pole. And we have this is a bounded region. And bounded region between theta equal to theta 1 to theta equal to theta 2. So this is our bounded region. For this bounded region, we will take the r accordingly. R is taken as in this form always. R we always take in this form. Always in this form. When x you take in this form strip, y you take perpendicular strip, r strip is in this form, origin to distance form line. So suppose this curve is r equal to r1 and this is r equal to r2. So what will be the double integration here? Theta limit is constant here, theta 1 to theta 2, and r limit is r1 to r2, and f is the function of r theta here, dr d theta. So this is the representation of double integration in polar coordinates. This is the representation of polar coordinates in double integration. Let's see one example based on polar system. Integrate double integration over region r sine theta dr d theta over the cardioid r equal to a 1 minus cos theta above the initial line. So you remember there are two cardioids, r equal to a 1 plus cos theta and r equal to a 1 minus cos theta. So I will advise to all of you, see these tracings. Here theta equal to 0 degree, here theta equal to pi by 2, here theta equal to pi, and here theta equal to 3 pi by 2, and if you take one round, this is equal to 2 pi. If you see, it's a tracing, it's a look like, if you put theta equal to 0, it is 0 actually. If you put theta equal to pi by 2, it is a. If you put theta equal to pi, it is 2a. So this is the tracing of this cardioid. Now you want this integration above the initial line. So this is the above the initial line, and you draw the strip of r along a distance form. So you will get look like this strip. This is the way to draw the strip. So what will be the limit? Theta will be from 0 to pi, because above the initial line, theta is from 0 to 180. What is the r? R is from 0 because r is starting from pole here, and at pole r equal to 0 at pole, and it is going up to the curve. What is the curve? A 1 minus cos theta. The upper value is of r coming from the given curve. So we will integrate with respect to r firstly, dr sine theta d theta. Now you will get 0 to pi, if integration will be r square by 2, 0 to a 1 minus cos theta sine theta d theta. So if you simplify it, you will get 4a square by 3. I'm not going in the calculation of this, you can simplify it. Now it's a simple integration, you can see my integration lectures. So this is the way to evaluate the integrals. And I have also told you the relation between Cartesian and polar systems. Okay, so I am going to finish lecture 1 here in multiple integrals. In the next part of multiple integrals, we will see the triple integration, area and volume. Firstly, we will see the area, then triple integration and volume. So second lecture is also important in multiple integrals. Okay, thank you.